Hey everybody, I'm Ellen here at Etrailer.com, and we're taking a quick look at the Performance Tools Automotive and Electrical Toolkit. This is a really handy kit to have if you're going to be overlanding or you're an RVer. It's going to give you a lot of stuff that will kind of cover the bases of anything that might go wrong electrically with your vehicle to make sure that you can patch it up and get back down the road. So let's go over what comes in the kit, and I'll show you kind of how it opens and what you can expect to get out of this. Something that I like about this particular case is that it's pretty compact for the amount of stuff that's in here. Always a premium is keeping our stuff keeping things small as much as we can so we don't have to take up too much space in your RV or your van or whatever you might be traveling in. So this does a pretty good job of conserving space. Basically, it's just like two little boxes in one, so you can open this up and flip it out and have both readily accessible from here, or if you know you're just going to need one side, you can open that one and go from there. So let's take a look and open this guy up. So just got some little snap latches. I'm going to open up both sides and we can take a look at what's inside here. So we'll have some tools on this side. You've got a circuit tester, pretty basic. Just have your clamp to clamp on and then to like ground out the circuit, and then you can test from there. It should light up. It's got a light on the inside, so nothing too fancy with this, but just got a nice basic circuit tester. Get a pair of wire crimpers, cutters, and strippers. These are going to be handy for any kind of wiring that you might do. Again, pretty basic. This isn't anything that you'd want to be using every single day because it would probably be, the handle's not super comfortable. And I have seen some that are a bit nicer than this, but it will definitely do the job when you just have something that you need to patch up and get you back down on the road. Moving on, we've got some wires here, some little alligator clamps at the end, so this can be handy if you need to jump between a battery and something else. These are kind of thin wires though, so you want to watch what kind of circuit you send through here. It won't be able to take a really heavy load like 24 volts. I don't think this could handle, but probably can do 12 volts, but don't quote me on that. Just be careful that you're not putting anything too powerful through it. Some electrical tape, always handy. A couple of small screwdrivers, Phillips and flathead. Got some wire nuts. A couple different sizes here. So these are used more in residential electrical situations. So you'll find these a lot in RVs, just because RVs are kind of treated like having at-home electrical. I'm not a huge fan of these just because on the road you're having to deal with vibrations, and these can come loose if you don't really get them on there nice and tight and you don't cinch them up. But that being said, they can be really handy if you just want to replace something in your RV. They do work just fine. You just want to make sure that you take your time and twist those in there to get a good connection and probably wrap it up or zip tie it up in a way. Speaking of zip ties, you do get some in here, so you get a couple different lengths. So we've got some itty bitty ones, some slightly bigger, and then some longer ones here. So you get several sizes to work with and a whole mess of butt connectors and ring terminals of various sizes. You've got some open-ended ones too. The colors usually pertain, it's like a color-coded system, so blue, anything that's blue is going to work for your 14 to 16 gauge wire. Yellow will work for 10 to 12 gauge, and then red will work for your 18 to 20 gauge wires. So gauges work in reverse of how we normally think of them, so the bigger the number, the smaller the wire, if you don't already know. Got some more wire nuts here, some automotive fuses, kind of the bigger style. Also have some glass rod fuses. These are kind of old-fashioned, but you do find these a lot in a lot of different vehicles, and you can find them in RVs, so it's nice to have them because they can otherwise be kind of tricky to find. Got some little pliers here. Got a little hook on the end. Also get some grommets, little wire grommet, to help protect any wires that you might need to go through, or if you need to punch a hole through a door, like if you're having to run a wire into a compartment, but you don't want that wire to rest on a sharp edge. That's nice to have. Some little clamps. These are nice whenever you're running wire along an edge, like maybe along the bottom of your vehicle, just to kind of keep it up and out of the way. These are pretty basic. And then several different diameters of heat shrink sleeves. These are always nice to go over a connection of wires, especially if you're doing any soldering, or if you're maybe using a smaller one of the butt connectors, you can go over that and just use a heat gun to go around it, and it'll shrink around that wire and provide some protection against the elements. Also get a little length of, I would say this is maybe either 10 or 12 gauge wire, hard to say, probably more like 12, could even be smaller than that. So all in all, a pretty good kit. Again, I think this is going to be really handy for all kinds of automotive use. If you want to just keep it in your shop or keep it at home for any kind of emergency, I think it makes a lot of sense to have. So it's a pretty good price point for what you get in here. Again, none of this stuff is going to be your go-to tool. If you do a ton of wire stripping, crimping, and that kind of thing, you might want to get some pliers that are a little bit nicer. But I think if you just want to have a set for a backup, this makes a lot of sense as a starter kit for sure. Just trying to get all these little baggies back into their spots. One last thing, I'll give you a quick measurement of the size here of our box, just so you can plan out how big this is for your space. So it's about 10 inches and about 3 inches. I'm going to say about 7.5 inches. So yeah, pretty nice little kit. I hope this video has been helpful in deciding if this is the right kit for you. We do have a lot of other tools here at Etrailer.com, all kinds of stuff for your wiring and electrical needs as well. So if you do want to get a nicer pair of crimpers or splicers, we do have those here, and all kinds of other good stuff. So check it out right here at Etrailer.com, and thanks for watching.